Welcome to the next video in our Access database for our store. What we're going to create in this video is a subtotal at the bottom of the screen. And so you can see down here at the bottom that I have a order with a bunch of items, 7 items actually, and the total bill is $5,428. Let's add one more item to see if this actually works. I'm going to add a gamer's laptop. I'm going to pick one, and you should see the total update down here. As soon as I choose a new level, we have $7,000. And so this video is going to show you how to create this sum function at the bottom of the screen. This form for invoices has actually 2 different forms in one. If we open this up, this is the main form, it's called, and then this grid here is called the subform. So there's actually 2 different forms in our database list, and we're going to start with a subform. So let's close here, and I'm going to open up the subform and choose Design View. Notice on the subform that we're going to have the product ID, the quantity, the product name, and the retail price. Then our subtotal at the end of the line is what we've created as a custom formula. We're going to multiply the quantity we ordered times the price. Now we're going to put in something here in the form footer. If you can't see the form footer like I can, you can grab this bar and move it up or down to give it some more space so we can work in here. We're going to do a sum of all the subtotals. So you need to go up to here to where we have form design tools, click on design, and then choose this here called the text box. A text box simply allows you to place your own custom text box on the screen. So first of all, let's give this text box a name. Over here it says name is text 18. We're going to call this the total price. How about? Now the label needs to have something else. Let's go with total price on the label. Notice the text inside of this field is unbound, so we need to put a formula in here or tell it where to get this information. So let's go back over to here where it says control source. When I click on this line, I have 2 options. I can pick a source from the database, or I can click the 3 dots to create a custom formula. Here's my custom formula. You'll remember from Excel that if you want to add up things, you use the sum formula. So I'm going to choose equals SUM. And now I'm going to choose 2 things to add together. Remember, we have a field called quantity. I'm going to multiply that by the retail price. So I start typing RET, and we should see retail price. Close the parentheses here and click OK. Now when I choose Save and choose Form View, you will see that at the bottom of the invoice item we have the total here of $18,000. Now if we were to go to the datasheet view, this is what we're going to see on our order, and you notice that there's no subform total at the bottom. So this type of view doesn't have the actual subform that we're looking for, doesn't have the subtotal. But if we go to form view, we can see it. Now one more thing before we leave this. Let's go to the design view again and check on the name. What did we call this field? The field name is called total price. So that will be important. Okay, now the next step is to take this number and add it to the main form. So it's a little tricky, and so you'll have to follow the steps exactly here. Let's go open up our main form. Let's choose Design View here. And once again, we're going to be working down in the form footer. So you can adjust the bottom here so you can see a little bit of the form footer. Notice there's 2 footers. There's this subform on here. We're not interested in that one. We already have the quantity here. What we want to do is add a subtotal at the bottom of the page. So once more, I'm going to go back to the text box, control, click it, and we're going to add a control about here. Let's call this thing the order total. So that'll be our label. And then for the name of this box, instead of text 15, we could also name this as order total. Okay, so now the idea is we're going to go and put in a custom formula into this field. Right now it says unbound, so there's no numbers in it. Let's go click on our form builder up here. Under control source, let's click on the field builder tool. and we'll start typing in what we expect to be put here. All we're going to do is we're going to borrow the name from what we got on our subform. So we've already got a form field on there. We're just going to borrow that. So we're going to say equals, and I'm going to take this from the subform name. So if I start typing the name of my subform, I'm going to get the word invoice, I-N-V-O-I-C. And so you can see that the invoice details subform comes up as one of my choices. So I'll double click that. So we're going to get something from this subform. Now I'm going to type the period and then type the word form again. An exclamation mark, which means we're going to get something from a custom created formula. And the field name. If you remember, it was called total price. So I type in T-O-T-A-L, price. And this formula, I'll zoom in so you can see it, has to be typed in exactly as it's written here. So this means basically take the total price field from the invoice subform. Click OK. If this doesn't show up in your field here, it means it didn't save it for some reason. Access sometimes needs to have the information typed in twice. Let's save this, and let's go look at our form view. And so now you can see that for this particular order, we have a order total at the bottom. So let's go look at the next order. That's $720, and this one is $12,000. The last thing we should do for this is to add dollar signs. So let's go back into our design view. Let's click on this field and go to our format option. And instead of just general, we're going to change it to currency. And now when we go back into our form view, we should see dollar signs here. So that was a little complicated. We had to create a sum of all the subtotals, and we had to put this on the subform. And then from the subform, we took the number and put it onto our regular main form. So it's a little bit awkward. So if you follow the steps exactly, though, you should get a order total at the bottom of your page.